is another public announcement. State my people. Peace to all my people in the house right now. Gather in. Registrar versus register. Do you have a pen? Do you have your paper? Are you ready to take notes? We are about to drop this one. This is the one that will get you into all the offices that you need to get into, my people. So let's get right into this live. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So check it. Registrar versus register. A registrar is a person or office. Registration is the act or process. Now, registrar, the official officer or office responsible for receiving, maintaining, or administering records. Registration, the process of entering a fact, document, right, title, or status into an official system or registry. Let's repeat it. Do you understand what's going on, my people? Registration. Where do you register your documents? The process of entering a fact, document, right, title, or status into an official system or registry. So wherever you register your documents, you are creating a fact, you're creating a document, you are creating a right, you are creating a title, you are creating a status into an official system or registry. Register can mean the official book, database, or the act of entering something into it. Registry, the office or system where registered records are maintained. In your public record context, if you submit a document, you present the document, registrar receives the document, examines the document, registration occurs on the entry, appears in the register or the registry. The distinction can matter legally. A registrar has authority only under the law governing that particular registry. Registration does not automatically prove that every statement in a file document is true, nor does it automatically create ownership, a lien, or jurisdiction. Its legal effect depends on the specific statute and type of record. For example, with Rule 220, Registrar of Titles, language you add, okay, the Registrar of Titles is the official, while registration of a memorial is the act of entering the authorized memorial against the certificate of title. Now, for New York public record and trust document context, the differences are important. So based on your state, the differences are important. Now, the office or team of the registrar maintains a specialized official registry. Recorder accepts documents for recording. County clerk, statutory public record and court-related filing officer. Register of deeds records real estate instruments. Register, the official book database, or sometimes an officer. Registry, the organized record system or office. Registration, act of entering something into a registry. Recordation or recording, act of placing an authorized instrument into public records. The practical distinction for your documents: registrar is specialized legal registry. So the registrar equals the specialized legal registry. A registrar normally operates a particular statutory system. Examples include a registrar dealing with vital records or specialized the registration system. Recorder equals document recording. A recorder's function is generally closer to: this instrument was presented, accepted, indexed, and placed in the public record. That does not necessarily mean the government agrees with every claim written in a document. County clerk equals your state's key local filing recording office. In New York, the county clerk may handle land records and various statutory filings depending on the county and document type. A clerk cannot necessarily accept a document merely because the signer wants it on the public record. There normally must be statutory authority and compliance with formatting, acknowledgement, tax, indexing, and subject matter requirements. Register of deeds equals functionally similar, but terminology varies. Many states use register of deeds. New York's terminology varies by locality. For example, some jurisdictions use a county clerk, while New York City has its own real property recording structure. Now, my people, basically, if your goal is to put a memorandum of trust or notice of trust interest on your record, the first question is not simply who is the registrar. The stronger question is which New York statute authorizes this specific instrument to be filed or recorded in which office and under what indexing category. Peace to all my people in the chat. So, that question determines whether you need a county clerk, court clerk, state filing office, motor vehicle agency, or another specialized registrar. So, the registrar can be a county clerk, it can be a court clerk, it can be a filing office, it could be a motor vehicle agency, the registrar. Okay? So, given, the filings involving your state, okay, where your trust corporation may be or your vehicle may be, which registration recording are you filing? So basically, Albany State Office registers a document. Albany State does not register a document under Minnesota Rule 220. The rule is a Minnesota court rule, not a New York rule. The official Minnesota text says the registrar of titles may register a birth certificate as a memorial upon an outstanding certificate of title. It is part of Minnesota's land title registration framework. Now, if you walked in to an Albany building or state building and said, I want to register my birth certificate under Minnesota Rule 220, I would not expect a New York office to have a statutory authority to do that, because that Rule 220 is filed in Minnesota and it's filed in the reviser's office. That's where you would file your Minnesota Rule 220, in the reviser's office in Minnesota. Now, I got that address. If you need it, get a consultation and I can help you file that birth certificate along with Rule 220 in Minnesota and get it on the record and into the congressional records. Call us up, 407-300-5377. Now, New York State Department of Albany handles specific state level filings, but the state register is for publication of state agency rules and regulations. It is not a registry for private Rule 220 birth certificate memorials, because that's done in the reviser's office in Minnesota. Now, your state archives, for example, in New York State in Albany, preserves government records and certain state land title documents. It's not a general private document recording office. Now, in general, in these 50 states, for example, New York State in Albany maintains records, maps concerning state-owned lands and expressly directs people seeking ordinary recorded land records toward the relevant county clerk. The county clerk is in your county. So the county is where you would do your land recordings. Now, the county clerk, where in New York real property is located. So generally, the relevant recording officer for authorized real property instruments, New York's own materials identify county clerks as recording officers. So, what is the key point? What I'm trying to get across to you is that your specific objective is this. If you want to create a public record connecting your name or your birth certificate, okay, basically your certified birth certificate, an affidavit of identity, your trust, and possibly real property, the correct route depends on what legal effect you want. I should tell you that Rule 220 itself transfers to New York because the official source does not support that. So, If you filed your birth certificate in the Minnesota Rule 220 in the revisor's office in Minnesota, it takes 90 days for the Minnesota revisor's office to send that paperwork in to your state that you reside in. Okay? That's how it's done. Now, you can get a consultation and we can help you with the process. Okay? Because that's what we do. 407-300-5377. Now, basically, if you want the registration and what do you want to accomplish with your registration? So, are you registering your name? Are you registering a title? We do all of that here with a consultation. We tell you exactly how it's done. We walk you through the process. So nobody is in your process. It's you yourself. And we're walking you through the process. That is how you're going to take care of your business and get on the record. 407-300-5377. Okay? Now, there is no single number because every county organizes its county clerk's office differently. Larger counties have more departments than smaller counties. So a typical county clerk's office may include departments such as recording, land records, court records, judgments and liens, business certificates, DBAs, notary services, certifications, archives, records management, passports in many countries, cashier or finance, e-filing, indexing, jury administration in some counties. Now, for example, in New York County, Manhattan County Clerk lists departments including archives, business, cashiers, certifications, indexing, appeals, e-filing, judgment, docket and liens, notary, records, the records room, and additional administrative units. All right. Now, the county clerk's office, my people, in different counties, they record trust documents, filing a DBA, obtaining certified copies, recording real property documents, or other filings you have been wanting and discussing with me privately. And, basically, if you're referring to your certificate number, which is on your birth certificate, right? You really can't determine what it is from the number alone. Certificate numbers are not unique across all registries, and different agencies use different numbering systems. So, what I can tell the people right now that are listening and those who will listen, the type of certificate, what type of certificate are you filing? For example, a land title or Torrens certificate of title, a vehicle title, a birth certificate title, a corporation or business certificate. You would have to know what type of title or certificate you're filing. Okay? Now, if this is Minnesota Torrens certificate that a lot of people are talking about, and that a lot of people mentioned to me earlier. Now, your certificate of title number would ordinarily refer to a specific registered parallel parcel of land in the county's title records. In your title records can also be the title book, okay, maintained by the Registrar of Titles for that Minnesota county or whatever county you are in, located in your state. The certificate number identifies that registered title in the Torrens system. So your title, so your number of your birth certificate is a land title number found in the title book in the registrar's title book. You would have to go and look through the title book and pull your birth certificate number, because your birth certificate number is tied, is attached to the land. Now, my people, what do y'all want to understand? Big up to Adrielle. Big up to C. Tesha. Big up to all my people in the private chat. Big up. American. Yes, we are American. So you don't understand English? Well, then you need to get yourself into an English class. My nigga. Straight up. An English class would really help you a lot. So you see, my people, basically, if you're tuning in and you're trying to hurry up and get out of the system and get your paperwork filed, it's all about registering. That's what it's about. If you don't properly register, okay, which means that you must conduct the process of entering a fact, entering a document, entering a right, entering a title, entering your status into an official system or registry. So the registration is going to create your fact. The registration creates the document that never existed before. The registration creates your rights. The registration creates your title. The registration creates your status. And that is what it's all about. It's all about creating a status. So if your status is correcting, then you are creating a fact yourself and registering it. You're creating a document and you're registering that document. You're creating your rights and you are registering your rights. You are creating a title and you are registering your title, and you're creating your status. All of that is wrapped in, and they call it status correction. So status correction is the process of entering a fact, entering a document, entering a right, entering a title. That is status correction. And you create your status correction, call us up, 407-300-5377. We do consultations. We do walkthroughs with you with this consultation and put you on the right track and get you the status that you are properly needing to register on the public record. So now the registrar can correct the title book. That's the bottom line. You have to correct your status. You have to correct and rebut the record of what they already have on the record for you. And that record does not allow you to move on the board of the exchequer. You cannot move on the checkerboard without a proper status. Now, the status, okay, you have the recording, and then you have the who is this? Alabama. How may I help you? Right. So the status, my people, your status recording, you have to go back to my other live, registering versus recording, because I gave it to you and I'm giving it to you once again. But this is registrar versus registration. So, you really have to understand the process of registering. Registration is a vital key to your existence of being able to feed yourself. Registering is a vital statistic within the matrix of the construct of trust. Okay, so trust administration begins with status correction, teaching you how to properly status correct the record. 407-300-5377. Get into these classes or get a consultation. We will give you a walkthrough of what you need to do and put you on the right track so that now you can actually discharge all your debt properly. Sometimes the debt will correct itself if you have the proper name and title status registered. That's the bottom line. Now, this is a business, and you must abide by the bylaws of the business. You abide by the bylaws of their businesses who have been stomping on your neck and robbing your estate endlessly and perpetually. So, to stop the perpetual thieving and crimes against humanity, get into this class. We have an official status correction class that you must get into. It's life or death when you are on the exchequer board moving your pieces within the construct of the trust, because everything derives around the trust. So, I cannot say any more to you, but call us up 407-300-5377. That's the bottom line, my people. You want to live with that wealthy life? The only way to live a wealthy life is to status correct. And it's not really the status correction that you've been hearing for the past 50 fucking years while you're still running around with your head cut the fuck off and still don't have the money. Get into the classes, my people. This is the United States private enterprise free state with another public announcement. Okay? All right? Registrar versus registration. That is what it's all about. So if you get into these classes, you can understand who you really are, what you really are, why you have come back here on planet Earth, and it's not about what you really think it's about. It's about way more. But this is the learning ground for you to status correct. And status, what did we say? Status, is, well, let's go back into what status is, all right? So basically, the process of entering a fact, document, right, title, or status into an official system or registry. Now, let's take a deeper dive. Okay? So, we're going to take a deeper dive here. So, the deeper dive, my people, I'm going to tell you right now. Status is a person's or thing's recognized legal, social, or official standing or condition at a particular time. So, at this particular time, depending on the context, it can mean different things. Legal status, a person standing under the law, for example, whether someone is a minor or an adult, a citizen or a non-citizen, or whether a corporation is active or dissolved. Now, material status, single, married, divorced, or widowed. Business status, active, inactive, dissolved, or suspended. Case status, pending, dismissed, closed, or appealed. Property status, owned, mortgaged, foreclosed, or sold. Registration status, registered, expired, suspended, or revoked. In general, status describes a recognized condition. It does not by itself create legal rights or obligations. The legal effect of a particular status depends on the law governing that context. So, if you understand status and then you go back to, if we go back to registration, the process of entering a fact, document, right, title, or status into an official system or registry. So you have to register what you want yourself to be corrected as. So my people, wake up, stop sleeping. Here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State, my people, we are on the path and the road to the treasury. You know what I'm saying? We are on the road to the treasury. And that's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to wake up. You're going to have to pull yourself up and understand yourself, understand where you are on the board right now of the exchequer, you have to really you have to choose what you're going to do properly. What really matters to you? That's what it is. What is your major concern? How are you going to move your pieces on the exchequer checkerboard? Wake up. You know, I'm kicking you the real knowledge that nobody's telling you. Not none of these gurus are going to, they got you running around in circles like a rat on a maze. They got you running and running and running around. And you still are being mistreated by the colonizer. So it's on you. You want to stay in your positions, and what I'm telling you is probably going way over your head, because mentally, a lot of people are idiots. Mentally, people are incompetent. Mentally, people just don't heal. Mentally, people are all fucked up, straight up. That's the bottom line. So, if you don't want to end up like a lot of these, like, for example, if you go after your estate, right, and you try to do tax refunds on the estate without a corrected status, if the IRS federal agents come out knocking on your home at your house door, they're coming to arrest your ass straight up. One, because you have accessed the estate without proper authority, without the proper identity, and that is a crime. So if the IRS come knocking at your door, don't answer it. You better lay low and go correct your status before you try to pull any money out of your estate. Straight up. You cannot pull any money out of the estate without your status being corrected. You must give us a call, 407-300-5377. Get into these classes, get a consultation, and let us guide you step by step on what you need to do to access your estate. Now, there are people who have accessed the estate, but guess what? They got to pay that fucking money back. Straight up. A lot of people who have accessed their estate without the proper identity have to end up paying the IRS back the money that they took from the estate. That's the bottom line. I don't care what you people think or what you even say against the United Private Enterprise Free State, but we are fully status corrected, straight up. Now, we're on the road to the Treasury. We're not accessing any estate until we are properly on the record, where it's not going to be a kickback or a pushback of saying you owe the estate and this money back because you illegally accessed your estate. It ain't happening. Not like that. So I don't know about the rest of you people out there who are following other gurus and trying to access an estate without the proper authority or the proper identity. So you could go on with that. And it's a lot of gurus out there teaching people to do that dumb shit. And that's why they're getting their bank accounts shut down, their accounts shut down. They can't use these accounts no more. They're getting blocked out and locked out forever because they accessed an estate that they had no authority or no identity or a proper status correction. That's the bottom line. I hate to tell it to the people like that. You know what I'm saying? I hate to tell it to y'all like that, but that is what's going on right now. So, like, all the people that said, what is that? That chick, Christina Wilson, um, you know, you got to watch the people. It's a lot of shit that can get you locked up in this game. I'm sorry, it's a lot of shit that can get you locked up for accessing an estate. You can get locked up for that. Now, but if you properly do it the right way, there's going to be no pushback. So 407 300 5377 to learn how to properly access your estate, and you have the full proper authority. Okay, you have to call us up because this is real. We are a trust administrative company, and that's what we're specializing in, is trust administration. So my people, stand up, erect posture. Let's go in this treasury. The road is ours. It always has been. You know what I'm saying? The road is golden. 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 Okay? Straight up. Didn't Jill Scott tell you that? She told you. Living my life golden. Didn't she tell you that? Yo. So instead of somebody else governing your estate, we have the documentation to self-govern your estate the right way, all the paperwork, the entire process from start to finish, how to govern the estate and not have to owe back or pay back a penny. So 407 300 5377. That is what registrar versus registration is all about, my people. We got 15 minutes left in this live, because we give you an hour of our free time. That is our donation back to the public and to all my United States Private Enterprise Free State members. Okay? We do create driver's licenses, birth certificates, and all types of other IDs and products. 407 300 5377. My nigga. We the people stand strong. Stay strong. Don't ever give up. Yes, there are days that the process is going to get you down because they are exhausting all your energy. They are blocking you from doing this. They may be blocking you from doing that, but you can never give up. I myself am a prime example of never giving up. Okay? There are so many accomplishments that are waiting for you You never give up. Just find another way to do it. That's all you got to do. Use your brain. This is a mental process. It's all mental. It's a magical process. In fact, my people, we the people, it's a beautiful process when you know what you are accessing, when you gain the authority and it's on the record. That is your accomplishment. That moves you into the next level on the exchequer board, on the road to the treasury. And the treasury is a golden path of wealth and prosperity for all those who want their airship. You want your airship to the land? Follow me. Let's take that walk. Let's take a long walk, my people. Didn't Jill Scott tell us that? Let's take a long walk. Didn't she say that? Okay, that is what the fuck we are doing. We're taking a long motherfucking walk on the road that is golden, and we're collecting our wealth and prosperity from the treasury. It's waiting for you, my people. The gold, the money, the silver, the credits, it's all there waiting. Don't you see it? I know you see it. Can you smell it? Do you feel it? Prosperity, wealth, abundance, an overabundance of wealth and prosperity, gold and silver, houses, mortgages, land, everything. It's all yours for the taking. And do you want to take it? Yes. You want to take it. You want to grab it. You want to mold it. You want to shape it. You want to spend it. You want to share it. You want to grow it. You want to maintain it. Wealth and prosperity is your birthright. Straight up. It don't get no more clearer than that. And most of you people don't want to hear this, but you must wake up to the reality. You are already wealthy. You just don't know it because they gave you a fucked up mindset. Change the mindset, you change your outlook, you change your focus, you change your sphere of reality. Become who you want to be. Don't follow or chase after idiots, incompetent fools that don't know anything. Wake up to who you are. You are the best you right now, waiting to be planted, waiting to be watered, waiting to grow your estate, waiting to grow your empire. Is what it's all about. It is wealth building, trust building. Step into your new life, my people. Step into being who you truly are and who you were really meant to be. Wake up to the new you. There's only one you that can change throughout this existence within your avatar of being. You are the wealth that you have always been waiting for. Wake up, my people. We, the people, wake up. Learn from your mistakes. Correct your mistakes. Learn from the people who have gone before you. Learn from your forefathers and your mothers. Learn from your ancestors. Build your wealth and prosperity on a solid rock foundation of trust, of estate, of bank, of court, and of state. 4 pillars, my people. That's all it is. And you, the willing participant, to participate in your life. Not death, participate in your living well on the planet. Participate in giving love to yourself. Participate in healing your own mental. Participate in you standing strong on a foundation of truth. That's the bottom line. We got 8 minutes left in this live, my people. Wake up. Nobody is going to give it to you like the United States enterprise free state give it to you. The United States private enterprise free state is on the road to the treasury. How many people want to go with us and collect the bag? Okay? You got a lot of gurus driving 100 miles an hour on the road. A cop may stop them. They show the cop their paperwork, and the cop tells them, "Have a nice day. Just slow down." How can that happen? Get into the class. Call us up, and we will show you how that can happen. No evidence, nigga. No evidence. Okay? That is a true reality that a lot of people are living right in the here and now. No evidence. Straight up. The record is starting just to clear itself up mysteriously. Learn how that can happen. Get into the class. 407-300-5377. Big up to all my people in the private chat. Big up to all my people in the public chat. Thank you for tuning in to this public announcement from the United States Private Enterprise Free State. 407-300-5377. Okay? We got 5 minutes left, my people. 5 minutes of inspiration, 5 minutes of prosperity, 5 minutes to help you raise yourself up and be strong in the light of love, in the light of light and love. Light and love, my people, that's what it is. Uplift yourself. Open your heart to receive all your prosperity. Open your heart to receive the message that I'm giving to you right now. It's all about those that can come with an open heart. How open is your heart? How open is your mind to learn? How open are you to receive your wealth and prosperity on the road to the treasury? You have to ask yourself those questions. That is the bottom line. Okay? We the people, the United States Private Enterprise State, the Articles of Confederation, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution for the United States of America, the Articles of Association, all the declarations, all the treaties. Read them, wake yourself up, learn a new reality. That is how you become prosperous. That is how you become wise and wealthy. Okay? Wise and wealthy, my people. That is how we do it. Being wise and wealthy and helping all those who we can, when we can, wherever we can. That is what you must tune in to when you're on the road to the treasury. This has been another public announcement from the United States Private Enterprise Free State. Stay up, stay one, stay strong, and we are